find out about what is in season, what you should be looking for, fruit and veg, some of the good stuff we've got around South Australia. Campaign manager for Pick a Local, Pick SA, and from the SA Produce Market, Penny Reidy. G'day, Penny.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Now, tell me about where we're at the start of winter, really, now.
Yes, we are in winter now, so we still haven't got much rain, which we were just discussing. We kind of need that for some of the crops, but it is winter, lots of colds going around.
Yes.
Good to know that South Australian citrus season is still bringing us in some new varieties at the moment. There's plenty of vitamin C in that. So if you're looking to get a bit of a boost, if you've got a bit of the sniffles and you want some vitamin C, we're seeing at the moment the Cara oranges have started, and people quite enjoy these. They've got a really stunning orange-pink coloured flesh. So they do look like a bit like a grapefruit when you see them in the fruit and veg store. So they do have stickers on them. They should be named Cara. They're quite aromatic and they're super, super juicy, but do have a little bit of a tart flavour to them as well. So if if you've tried your Navels and your Washingtons and you want to try something a little bit different, look for those Caras coming out of the Riverland at the moment.
Okay. Grapefruits, now you mentioned those. It took me back, 40 years where we had this grapefruit tree in the backyard, and I, as a kid, it's too tart, you're bitter.
Very tart,
but I got to as I grew older into my 20s, I loved our grapefruits. They were so big and juicy and unreal, but I haven't had one for ages.
No, they're not quite in season this year either. Probably another month or so away before we start getting some grapefruits through, but yeah, I must say I'm not a massive grapefruit fan.
They're okay with a sprinkle of sugar, because you do need that still.
I think you definitely need a sprinkle of sugar,
but only a sprinkle. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Mandarins. Now, are they coming into season? They're a bit of a winter thing, aren't they?
They are. So we had, last time I was talking to you about the Satsuma variety that we're in. We've now moved into the Imperial Mandarins. They're really great for lunch boxes. And when you're peeling a mandarin, a grower showed me the best way to do it is to put your thumb through the middle and break it in half.
Right.
It's a really easy way, instead of bits and pieces of it coming off. Thumb through the middle, snap it in half. Really good way to eat it. Or if you want to share it with someone as well. Now, we've got a company here in South Australia who have this really great variety. They're called Pick Me mandarins.
Right.
And they come in a box that says Pick Me all over it. So they've got sustainable packaging. They're in like a little kilogram box. And they've got this relationship for Trees for Life. And every time you buy a box of these specially marked ones, a donation goes back to Trees for Life for regenerating trees in South Australia.
Excellent.
So I know they're on special in Foodlands this week. So have a look for them as well.
Okay, pomegranates. Now, they must be starting to taper off, are they?
Starting to taper off, but there is still some good supplies around, so if you want some of them, grab them. Again, great for antioxidants, great superfood, and if you can figure out how to get the seeds out of them and not put a massacre all over your kitchen, then make sure you get some of them in this week.
Apples. Now, I've been biting into some really beautiful, juicy, sweet apples of late. The Fuji's, I think, and the Pink Ladies and whatever else is around there. I still love Delicious. Can't get past them. But there are some good brands around. Missile Apples is one. Yeah,
so I love the Missile Apples. They're made by Lenswood up in the hills. And they whenever they come out, the retailers always ask for them because they're very, very popular, because they're a real, maybe 4 or 5 bites and you're done. They have a very small core to them, so you can actually eat the whole apple, which I love. You're not left holding the core at the end of it. You just eat it and away it goes. Consistently sweet and crunchy. This is what I like about these. Sometimes an apple, you get a good one and then you might get a bad one, good one, a bad. Missiles, I have never had a bad missile apple. Absolutely.
Wow.
Consistently. We actually had them, I was saying, we were just at the horticultural conference in Melbourne, and I had the Federal Agriculture Minister at our stand, and I gave him one of our missile apples, and he agreed. He ate the whole lot, and he absolutely loved it. So that was a good plug for South Australia and Lenswood. And if you haven't tried them, we are out doing some testing in some of our local fruit and veg stores. We're going to be at Kiera and Sons at Hollywood Plaza on Thursday next week between 10:30 and 1:30, and we'll be up at Harndorf as well on Friday next week. So if you've never tried a missile apple and you want to try them, head into those stores and have a look.
All right. At Harndorf next Friday and Hollywood Plaza next Thursday.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, the avocado, I saw the Facebook snap with Stacey Lee and this Godzilla avocado.
Absolutely. It's called the Avazilla. So
Yes.
I came in and spoke to Stacey about it last week. But if you're looking for them, there's still about another 2 to 3 weeks of supply of
Really?
them. So you will find them in your local fruit and veg store. They're between a 1 kilo and 1.8 kilogram avocado. And that's, a wholly bowl of guacamole. Like there's a lot that you can get out of that. You can host a brunch party with smashed avo and feta and just need one avocado. Don't have to peel it. And you'll find them. You'll only find them in your local fruit and veg stores. You won't find them in the supermarkets because they are a limited supply. I actually met the grower this week as well, which I was fascinated. They come from Queensland, and he said, they just keep getting more and more popular. So you'll pay between $10 and $20 for one, but something different. Give it a try.
How do they breed them? Oh, they must breed them, presumably. How do they get them big?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're just a variety. That's what. It's not like they've just left it on the tree way too long. They're actually, that's how they breed them. I don't know. They're clever people, though.
Very clever. Like, it's unreal, isn't it, when you think about it? How do you make a standard fruit 10 times the size?
Super size. Yeah. I have no idea.
Berries. Now, where are we at with berries? There wouldn't be too many around.
No, they're very short supply. And I saw some media yesterday about some people complaining that they were $9.50 a punnet and thought that people were price gouging. It's not that they're price gouging. It means they're not in supply at the moment. We're in between seasons between South Australia and the Queensland ones that are coming on. We actually had a really longer season in South Australia this year because we didn't have rain. That was actually good for the strawberry growers because as soon as it rained, that meant no more strawberries. So they kept going a little bit longer. So we have enjoyed really good supplies and great pricing. But all of the berry lines at the moment are just in between. So you will definitely be paying. I know you said you paid $15 a punnet for berries.
Well, it was for blueberries, but we didn't buy them. Just way too expensive.
Exactly.
And it was only, I don't know, a week or two before they were $6.
Yeah,
and you go, what happened there?
And that's the thing with fruit and vegetables. People will see it one day and, and they're like, oh my goodness, look at the price.
Yeah.
But it could be just a few days or a week later that the price kind of settles down again. But if there's no supply, there's no supply.
Yeah, well,
You're
that's
going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's it. It's always supply demand. Okay, what about vegetables? Now, colettes. Tell me about colettes.
Kalettes. So it's a hybrid between a Brussels sprout and a kale. So it's a Brussels sprout on the inside, but it's got a kale almost shell-like to it. So when you roast them or fry them up, they get a lovely crispy kale crunch to them.
Right.
So it's a great variety grown here in South Australia. We have great growers of them.
Yeah.
So if you've never tried them, just try. You have to like kale as well. I'm not a massive fan of kale, but if
or
you
Brussels
like
sprouts.
that,
So, not buying them.
not buying them. Well, there'll be people that'll be waiting for them to be in season, and they are and available in your fruit and vegetables.
Do they taste better with kale, Brussels sprouts?
Look, if you cook them well, put plenty of oil and salt on them. I love them.
Yeah, and cover them in chocolate or something appealing.
Something like that.
That's right. Cauliflower, what about them?
Really good supplies at the moment, really good quality. I love when I see a big bright white cauliflower. So we have some great growers here in South Australia. In fact, Frank Mussolino won the Grower of the Year for Ozveg this year, and he's a big cauliflower grower here in South Australia. So I don't know if you ever tried as an alternative to your mashed potato cauliflower mash. It's absolutely delicious. So you just boil it up, mash it, add a little bit of olive oil into it and some salt, and it gets a really creamy consistency.
It's beautiful. Yeah, done that.
Which is interesting because I met someone this week from New Zealand who has a cauliflower ice cream in production.
Really?
So they were in Melbourne this week for our Hawk Connections conference, looking for somewhere to do the manufacturing, the processing here in Australia, and want to bring it to Australia.
Yeah.
They've got it in 92 stores across New Zealand. It's going gangbusters.
Really?
Cauliflower ice cream. Talk about being sustainable and finding new ways of using our fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, look, we do other things, don't we? Banana, milkshakes and ice cream. And
exactly.
So watermelon.
Yeah.
So rockmelon sorbets, pineapple sorbets. It's all out there.
Might as well try the cauliflower.
May as well.
I mean, when the stats are showing that Australians are actually eating less fruit and vegetables.
Right.
So it's actually declining. It was only by about 200 grams, I think the stats were, per year. But when you multiply that by the millions, it's quite an impact if we're reducing. So the industry's trying to find new ways to get fruit and vegetables, and why not ice cream? That's a great win for the kids, isn't it?
Absolutely. Here, have an ice cream, kids. You'll like it. The Brussels sprout and kale still wouldn't work. Japanese pumpkin.
So the Jap pumpkins, so they're in good supply. Now, they've got a very tough skin, the Jap pumpkins. So when you buy it, my tip is go to the fruit and veg store and get your local grocer to actually quarter it for you. And then, because they've got the big knives and they can do that for you. But once it's cooked, very sweet and buttery, high in vitamin A and antioxidants, which is great for your skin.
Okay.
So if you're looking for something else to add in, try Japanese pumpkin this week.
Interesting you talk about the cauliflowers, because my mum does that, but she doesn't mash them. She boils them up and serves them drizzled with olive oil and probably a little bit of salt, like you say. Like you're eating the whole thing or, you know, cutting it up or whatever. But it's really good with the olive oil.
Yeah.
And especially warm, you know, just that lingering from the hot water in the boiling process. It's just fantastic and soft as anything. Olive oil. What is going on with that? I talked about this earlier this week. And you go to the stores now to buy a can of olive oil. 3 litres is around $50-odd. 4 litres is 60-odd. Yes. I mean, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about before, the berries, it's supply and demand. And because of the weather, they haven't had a great production. So you're going to be paying more for it. You know, I mean, I know that's the supermarket prices. You might want to try a farmer's market. I know they're out at the SA Farmers Market at Paraka. KI Olives and Oil are there, and they'll sell at bulk or in recyclable bottles.
Should
and
get it
things
cheaper
like
then.
That. So you'll probably get it a little bit cheaper there. But yeah, I know. I mean, I know in my house, olive oil is staple. There wouldn't be many days that I don't use it. I love using it in all of my cooking.
It's fantastic. Penny, if anybody wants more advice, obviously if you're in a store, look for the red, pick a local, pick SA sign, and you know you're supporting SA businesses then and SA growers. And you've got a competition running at the moment too.
Yeah, so we've been running a 9-week shop and win campaign. Every week we've been giving away prizes. I just dropped off a Nintendo Switch to a customer at Foodland at Saints out there. And every week that you enter, you're voting for your local fruit and veg store to go into the draw to be named a Retailer of the Year.
Yeah.
So we always love that. We're announcing that on the 19th of June. Voting finishes this Sunday. So if you've seen in a fruit shop and you've seen the shop and win campaign and you haven't entered yet, make sure you enter this week because your local greengrocer will be very happy if they get your vote.
And that Foodland you mentioned out there, that's best supermarket in the world, isn't it?
Yes, it did win International Best Supermarket as well. So, so we'll see if they take away the South Australian gong from this competition as well.
Absolutely. Now, you've got a Facebook page full of recipes and everything else.
Yes, everything you need to know about in-season produce, events that we've got going on. The Missile Apple events will be on there where we're going to be sampling them, inspiration on recipes and all of that sort of thing. Look for the Facebook page, Pick a Local, Pick SA.
Good on you, Penny. Talk next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Penny Reidy, Pick a Local, Pick SA, and also from the SA Produce Market.